How's it going, everyone? We're going to get started in a little bit. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you can hear. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. How's it going, everyone? We're going to get started in a little bit. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right. If you have any questions during the presentation, there's a chat box you guys can use. You guys can see it right there. I just typed in hello on my other account, but also over here. So you guys can ask me any questions during this presentation. I may not get to it right away. I just want to provide for people want to clear anything up when I go through this presentation. Just give me a little bit and we will get started. All right, your wish is your command. This was an audio series that was presented by my brother a couple years ago. He said, hey, John, you want to listen to the CD set, this audio series? And I started listening to it because I'm into personal development. I've been in this personal development for quite some time, since my early 20s. I've gone through a lot of different books. I've gone through a lot of audio CDs, but I wasn't able to put together this massive puzzle. And I was listening to this audio series, Your Wish is Your Command, this audio program. It started to piece this puzzle together for me. And I wanted to share with you how this program impacted my own personal health, because I've used this program to a pretty high degree, and I continue to use it to better my own personal health and also finances. So what we have here is your wish is your command. Many people on the internet are trying to get this program for free. I want to share with you how you can get this program completely for free. It's actually very easy. What you want to do, you want to go to any one of my links. On my descriptions, there's going to be a link in my descriptions. You want to click on the very first link. When you click on the very first link, it's going to take you to a landing page, a sales page. Now, if you don't want to read through this whole sales page, that's perfectly fine. You guys can just tap on the Buy Now button. On the Buy Now button, they'll take you to an order form. From here, this is where you got to pay attention. You want to scroll down a little bit to this area where you got to put in your coupon code. The coupon code is YWIYC. You want to hit apply on that coupon code after typing in YWIYC. And you can use all caps or lowercase, doesn't matter. After you do that, you can see that you're saving yourself $500. You want to scroll back on top and fill out the other information, such as your contact, billing, and payment information. It's not going to charge you anything. They just want to find people who are actually serious about this program. Then you're going to tap complete my order. After you tap complete my order, you're going to check your inbox. If it's not in your inbox right away, you want to go to your spam folder and just check on the spam folder. You may need to drag the email back into your inbox. From there, you tap on that email, and that link in the email is going to take you to this 14 audio series, Your Wish is Your Command, How to Manifest Your Desires. What is this program all about? I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, give you guys a better idea. Now, if you're into any of these speakers or authors, such as Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Joe Vitale, Tony Robbins, Earl Nightingale, Joe Dispenza, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Charlie Tremendous Jones, Cavett Robert, Ed Foreman, Joe Bauer, Grant Cardone, Dennis Waitley, Marcia Silver, Neville Goddard. If you're into any of these following speakers, this is definitely up your alley. Now, that was listened to this audio CDs, the CD recording, and I was like, this is making a lot of sense. Today I want to share with you what I learned, the specific lessons, the major lessons in this program, and how to apply it to my own personal health. Now, I'm just covering over the broad strokes. What you guys need to do, you guys need to go listen to these audio CDs, audio program yourself, and really extract the information for yourself and really apply it in your own personal life. The very first lesson is, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? Second lesson, teachability index. What is your teachability index? Third lesson, training balance scale. What is your training balance scale? And the fourth lesson is 4 steps to mastery. Okay. The very first sentence, Kevin Trudeau's "Your wish is your command" is, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? Now, according to Kevin, he says, listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Now, there are 2 components to this. Many of these lessons, they seem very simplified, very simple. But just like KT says, it takes about 5 minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master. Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. I shared with you guys before, I'm going to relate this program to how I cover my own personal health. This is before. In Southern California, I was living downtown, San Diego, and I had a lot of weight loss rebound. You guys understand? What that means is I would do my best to eat right, calorie count, MyFitnessPal, go to the gym, do my reps, do my sets. I would lose a couple of pounds, but I would gain it all back. That was the most frustrating experience that I've had for a very long time. And many of you could relate to the situation. If you do, put it in the comments, let me know your personal struggles with weight loss rebound or different health challenges I may have experienced. I would discuss a lot about health and how I use this program to recover my own personal health. So back then, coming back to this lesson, the first lesson is, who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. And in this, when I'm sharing this, you guys might relate to my story because I listen to a lot of wrong people. I listen to a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about. So back then, I was doing weight loss rebounding, and people told me, what you need to do, go to the 24-hour fitness and get yourself a personal trainer. So downtown San Diego, there is a Horton Plaza. There was a 24-hour fitness in that Horton Plaza. So in the winter, and you go to these gyms, these trainers would pull up and they'll say, hey, I can help you get into better shape. What are your goals? Are you trying to bulk up? Are you trying to cut? I didn't have any problem with that. The problem that I had was these trainers, they were even more out of shape than I was. They told me to do a caliper test. I wanted to say, listen, you got to do yourself a caliper test because your body fat percentage right now, it is out of this world. I don't even know how these people become personal trainers, but many people, I've seen this time and time again, not just in the United States. I've been down in the Philippines and I saw personal trainers there and they were overweight, but they had their certificates. They had some school, some training for this, and you just listen to these people blindly. Listen, if people can't even demonstrate the success themselves, why are you even listening to them? That is the very first lesson that many people overlook. Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Now, I also struggle with many other health issues in the past. For example, I was dealing with a lot of nasal congestion. I was dealing with a lot of digestive issues. I had joint discomfort. Also, I had something called restless feet syndrome. I know it's a lot. What is restless feet syndrome? You guys can look this up. Basically, you're trying to sleep and all of a sudden your feet, they start to move on their own, like they're possessed. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, like I'm exaggerating this, but you guys can look it up online, go to YouTube, go through some medical tests. So basically, when you're trying to sleep, for whatever reason, your feet, they start to move all on their own. And as a result, you're never really getting deep, restful sleep. And I struggled with that for years as well. And on top of that, I dealt with a lot of chronic constipation. I was chronically constipated. I could not use the bathroom every single day. So this has been a journey from this person on the left to the person on the right. If you want to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, pay attention to this. The very first lesson in Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command is listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Once again, I made the mistake of listening to all the wrong people. Went down to the doctor, go to see the pharmacist, and what do they say? Hey, they said that if you have any type of nasal congestion, go take Claritin. That's going to help with the nasal congestion, taking some antihistamines. And over time, if they stop working, go back to the doctor. He has prescription strength antihistamines for you to take. So I was taking Claritin almost every single day just to get about 2 to 3 hours of relief. But any of you been on any antihistamines for a long time, you know they come with a lot of side effects. For example, you had a constant fog, mental fog at all times. You couldn't really think clearly. You may have some relief in the nasal congestion area, but something else is missing. You couldn't really think clearly. And that's one of the side effects that you'll have when you start to take antihistamines long term. I started to experience liver discomfort. Okay. I started to experience a lot of digestive issues. And as I went back to the doctors, more and more, they're not fixing my problem. Listen, are you listening to the right people? You've been trained to listen to all the wrong people. Now, many people that say you have to listen to your doctor because they're the ones with they got the MD after their name. They went through medical school. But you want to be very observant. You want to look at your doctor with a very critical set of eyes. Many of your doctors are not even healthy themselves. Many of them, they're overweight. Many of them are struggling with chronic diseases. They're telling you to do this, that, and a third, but they can't even fix their own problems. Next time you go to the doctor, you know how they're so ready to critique your blood work, your lab results, your vital signs, your ECG, EKG, electrocardiogram. They're always said these values are out of range within range, out of range within range. Next time you go to your family doctor, what you want to do is tell them, hey, doc, it is time for you to get on that scale. It is time for you to get up on that scale so we can measure your weight. Then we're going to measure your height. From these two numbers, we're going to get your body mass index. From there, we're going to see how high is your body mass index. If it's over a certain value, I got to find myself a different family doctor. Can your doctors really take you to the promised land? Who are you listening to right now? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. So basically, these people, they've struggled, they've had some challenges in the same way that you did, but now they're completely on the other side of things. They know the struggle you've been through, and they work through it with themselves, and they have the solution, a permanent solution, not a patched up solution. Because you go to the doctors, they're so ready to prescribe you with a whole bunch of medications that will fix your problem short term. They will not fix your problem long term. And that's the game of the industrial medical complex. Now, nothing I share on this professional medical advice, diagnosis, and treatment. You got to continue to do the research yourself. I'll be sharing and give you guys a lot of clues, okay, on my journey. But you got to have that tenacity to continue to search out information for yourself and verify for yourself. Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Your personal trainer. This person may not be able to take you to the promised land. Your doctor. This person may not be able to take you to the promised land. Have they demonstrated success to a high degree where they don't have a lot of ups and downs with their own personal health? And that's what I had to do. I had to listen to a new set of people. People that were into naturopathic remedies, they were into herbal remedies, holistic doctors, integrative medicine. They saw the body as a collection of systems, not just symptoms. Your body is a collection of systems, not just a whole bunch of symptoms you want to be dealing with time and time throughout your whole life. There was a time I was very aggressive. Back in 2013, 2014, I was in downtown San Diego, but I started to reach out to people who were in that field. And a person been in that field for a very long time. Her name was Charlotte Gerson. Charlotte Gerson passed away a few years ago, but she's been on this journey a very, very long time. And I started to listen to people like Patricia Brack, Charlotte Gerson, people who were into natural health. And I started to recover my health over the years. I started to find new modalities. And that's the next lesson I'll be talking about. The next lesson is the teachability index. The teachability index has two components to it. The very first part is, what is your willingness to learn? What is your willingness to learn? Many people say, I have a willingness to learn, but how do you quantify that? Well, Kevin will teach you how to quantify this. I will show you how. The coachability index is another way of saying, how coachable are you? Are you a coachable person? There are two parts. The first part is, what is your willingness to learn? You have to give yourself a score between 1 to 10. The next part is, what is your willingness to accept change? Also give yourself a score between 1 to 10. Okay? I'm going to break this down, and I just want to preface by saying, a lot of people, they come into my lives, but they usually drop out in this section because I don't have a whole bunch of feel-good videos for you. Many of you just bounce up from one YouTube video to the next, never really get into your destination, because it's not about just doing another vision board, do another meditation, listen to another visualization track, lighting up another candle, buy yourself another crystal, do another astrological chart. The first one doesn't work, do another one in Western and also Chinese. Now you're just confused across the board. When it comes down to it, first of all, you got to listen to the right people. You have to really look at, can people in my head right now, can they take me to the promised land? People I'm subscribed to on YouTube right now, can they really help me get the results that I'm looking for? Next part is, what is your willingness to learn? How do you know you have a willingness to learn? And you can quantify it. It's going to share with you how you can quantify your willingness to learn. This first part is, you have to identify what is your favorite activity right now. Your favorite activity like you love to do. Now, for most people, they go home after work. First thing they do, they turn on TV. They got their Netflix loaded up, got Hulu, Amazon Prime videos, or they're watching sports on Fubo, or they are playing video games, Xbox, PlayStation. They're going out drinking with their friends. If it's the weekend, they're going out clubbing with their friends. And that's their favorite activity. It's that activity you look forward to doing outside of work. Are you willing to set that aside? And you're like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. What I'm going to do? Hey, what's going on? Nasser, good to see you. Good to see you. Let me know if you have any questions. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to set aside your favorite activity, and you are setting that aside, and you are learning something? You're injecting new information into your head. You're listening to some audios, you're listening to a podcast, you're listening to books, you're reading books, you are going to conferences in person or taking courses online. That's how you know you're setting aside your favorite activity, because we all have 24 hours, right? So you're saying, I'm going to set aside my favorite activity, putting down my PlayStation, putting down my favorite TV shows, and I'm really going to learn information that's going to better my life. I'm going to be more selective about who I'm listening to. People have demonstrated success. People have a track record for decades. And I want to learn from the best. Now, there are 30 days in a month, and if you're doing 10 days out of 30, that means you're at 33%. So you can give yourself a score of 3 out of 10 with your willingness to learn. The teachability index is taking these two numbers. Number one, your willingness to learn, giving yourself a score between 1 to 10. And you're going to have to multiply that number by your willingness to accept change, which is also a score between 1 to 10. Just the combined numbers, you got to multiply these two numbers together. That's going to give you your teachability index or your coachability index. All right. So what is your willingness to learn? Give yourself a score between 1 to 10. So I was very aggressive over the years. I spent a lot of time pouring over naturopathic books. I gone over a lot of books on human physiology. And you guys are in for a treat today because the teachability index is definitely one of the keys that turn everything around. Well, first of all, I had to listen to the right people. Listen to people who have been where I was, and now they're at a place where I want to be. They're vibrantly healthy, consistently all year round. If you want to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, you must continue to pay attention to this YouTube. Okay, just pay attention to the YouTube. So over here, share a little bit about how I went through this journey, how I got my health back. First of all, as I shared with you before, this person on the left, nasal congestion, joint discomfort, restless feet syndrome, chronic constipation, and that was a major hurdle I had to overcome. Many people, they're chronically constipated right now. You're in the learning phase. I do teach this. I do teach this right now. I'm actually a coach in this. So I teach people how to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. People that want to lose weight, well, they're doing about the wrong way because they really don't understand human physiology, how they can clean themselves through and through. Now, I don't care where you're coming from. I don't care about your religious beliefs, your political backgrounds. None of that stuff matters to me. When it comes to human physiology, we're categorically the same. When it comes to the digestive system, we have so many different systems. You got human beings, right? Male reproductive parts, female reproductive parts, and all the other systems, they're the same. So over here, food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Digestive enzymes breaking down the food. And over time, the food enters your small intestines next for nutrient absorption. The small intestines is incredibly long. It's 4.5 meters, roughly 15 feet. Then food's going to enter your large intestines for feces formation. Large intestines is roughly 1.5 meters or roughly 5 feet in length. This is the ascending, transverse, and descending of the portion of your colon and out the back for elimination. Another way you can think about your digestive system is just a very, very long piece of pipework. Once again, you just got to get the waste material out of this pipework. I know it sounds super simple, right? But many people cannot get this done. Chronic constipation is a global problem, and what it is simply listen. You have a lot of waste material trapped inside your colon and it's not exiting out of your body. If you want to lose weight, you need to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. The small and large intestines is incredibly long. The floor to the basketball rim is 10 feet off the floor, roughly 3 meters. So that combined length of your small and large intestines is like having one NBA hoop on top of another. This combined height is the length of your small and large intestines combined. How do I know chronic constipation is a global problem? I've done the keyword analysis. People all over the world are keying it into Google, Yahoo, Bing, their chronic constipation woes. I don't care if they're keying it in French, in Portuguese, in Korean, in Russian, in Arabic, in Dutch, in Chinese, in Vietnamese, in Indonesian. Listen, people all over the world are struggling with chronic constipation. It's already 2025. You think that we're living in a very advanced society, that we got self-driving cars, we have all this technology. Listen, we can't even fix chronic constipation. Now, you can say that, oh, we have a lot of different laxatives that we can take. Listen, they stop working. I've tried them. They stop working. That's why you still have the problem that persists. Pay attention to this video. Chronic constipation, simply, your elimination is incomplete. So you have residues of all feces. They're just building up in layers on the walls of your colon. and they're going to get bigger and thicker. As they putrefy, they're going to cause you a whole bunch of health problems, pain and discomfort. Now, what other things could they cause you? If you're dealing with bloating and gas, abdominal pain, rectal bleeding, hemorrhoids, anal fissures, impaction, discomfort and general malaise, urinary problems, psychological impact, changes in bowel habits, you're chronically constipated. If you can relate to this photo, people on the left, you've been huffing and puffing on the toilet, squeezing, you got blood vessels popping on the side of your temples. After all that work, what did you get? You get a small little pebble after all that work. The struggle is real. If you can relate to this picture, holler at me in the comments, okay? Don't be shy. Let's make this interactive. This is not a pre-recorded video. You're talking to a live person, so if you have any questions throughout this presentation, you guys can actually communicate with me and ask me different questions on your health journey. Who do you listen to? This is the second lesson to Kevin Trudeau is your wish is your command. You got to listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Listen to somebody like me. Listen, I was dealing with chronic constipation. I still remember we're going out to the bar in San Diego that evening, and I was putting on my jeans that evening, and I was asking myself, why are these jeans so damn tight? Why are they so tight? And why is this t-shirt so tight on me? Is it because I left them in the dryer too long? Listen, when you're chronically constipated, your stomach begins to bulge, simply because you have waste material that's been trapped inside your colon for a long time. But you're still eating 2 to 3 meals per day, right? So what's that going to happen is your colon is just going to get bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. The old poop is going to harden, but overall, your colon is going to get bigger and bigger. And now you're dealing with a dad bod all year round. And the problem, if you don't resolve it immediately, let me tell you what's going to happen. You may be dealing with something called a toxic megacolon, where the doctor, they have to remove your whole colon. Or you'd be dealing with different medical procedures such as hemicolectomies, or people that are installed with a colostomy bag. There are people on Instagram right now, entire Instagram pages talk about this. Or in very severe cases, you have a procedure called ileoanal anastomosis. This is what happens when they remove your colon completely. They remove it, and what do? How do you use the bathroom? They use the remaining section of your small intestines and reattach it to your anus. Now, I'm not making any of this up. You guys can look it up for yourself. I want you guys to really think about the liabilities ahead. First lesson, who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Second lesson, teachability index. What is your willingness to learn? Are you learning something right now? Put in the comments, let me know what kind of questions you may have. But what is your willingness to accept change? This is where rubber meets the road. You can't just learn all this information and not do anything about it. For example, a lot of people, they do have a lot of information. People are very intelligent, but they still cannot get the results that they're looking for. They still cannot go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. Your willingness to accept change basically means if you learn about specific detox protocols and you check them with your doctor, you check them with your naturopathic doctor, integrated medicine, they okayed it for you, you need to do them. Because a lot of people, they don't do anything with information. There are a lot of people that are reluctant to eat right. There are a lot of people reluctant to even go exercise. But they got all the DVD sets. They got the P90X with Tony Horton. Then they got Body Combat, Leslie Mills. Then they got Shaun T, Insanity. They got all the DVD sets from Beachbody. They got all these books on natural health. Got it all alphabetically organized in different genres. Everything, their library looking perfect. But when you look at the person, they're not changed. Why? Their willingness to accept change is zero. They don't do anything that's actually going to help their health. I don't care if it's nutrition. I don't care if it's working out. I don't care if it's going out for a walk. They don't do any of it. And when it comes to detox, they don't do any of that either. And that's the reason why I'm gonna come up here and let you know it's more than just about visualization. It's more than just about, oh, I need to buy myself some crystals to get my life, or I'm going to be lighting up a candle, get my angels to line up for me. There are a lot of things in nature you must do. And that's what I discuss in my program. My program is called the Mega Poop Transformation Challenge. Lose 3 to 5 pounds without going to the gym. I know some of you may not believe me. I have not been to the gym for a long time. Doesn't mean I don't exercise. You guys hear what I'm saying? I'm just saying, exercising, that's secondary to this other stuff you got to be paying attention now, which is understanding your digestive system and how to clean it out from beginning to end. Because until you can clean this whole pipework out and replenish it with the proper nutrients, let me just tell you how it is. And since 2019, I have not missed a single week. Every single weekend, I'm doing something to better my health in the areas of detox. Now, throughout the week, I just do some light exercise. I go for walks. I keep it very simple. I don't have to strive so hard to get this type of physique. You guys understand? A lot of people think that I have to strive very hard to get this type of physique. No. If you understand how your body works, you got to get the waste material out. The waste material is what's slowing you down. We're going to the next level of yourself. Right now, everything is just blocked up because you got waste material trapped inside the colon. Many of you, you have 3 to 5 pounds, 5 to 10 pounds, 10 to 15 pounds of waste, of fecal matter sitting inside of you now. If you just get rid of that waste material, you'll find yourself lighting up. You'll find yourself, wow, I lost weight just from using the bathroom. Now, for a lot of you, you're in very severe situations. What you need to do, you need to be looking into colon hydrotherapy or colonic. Of course, not professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Because a lot of you, you're just severely chronically constipated. They have to use that hot water. They're inserting hot water into your rectum. And they're going to excavate that waste material out of your body. Some of you, you're just that severe. You need to do this immediately, of course, under the guidance of your doctor, naturopathic doctor. I don't care what you got to do. And this is where you start to begin to learn. Teachability index. What is your willingness to learn? Are you willing to learn everything that I've outlined today thus far? You're not just going to take my word for it. You're going to go pick up books. There are a lot of free books online, archive.org. You can go to Library of Congress. A lot of free books online on human physiology. You just look for them. Are you willing to set aside your favorite activities and really learn this for yourself? But the next part is, what is your willingness to accept change? What are you doing right now that could better your health? Because if you don't fix your health, this is the path that they have for you. It's only get progressively worse, progressively worse. Some of you may get ulcerative colitis. Some of you may be dealing with Crohn's disease or rectal prolapse from straining on the toilet, or be dealing with anal fissures or anal abscesses and fistulas, or you're dealing with internal, external hemorrhoids. And when you go to your primary care, what do they usually do? They're going to send you down to a whole bunch of specialists. They're going to tell you, go see your proctologist. The proctologist is going to help you fix you up. And of course, they're going to say, hey, we've examined the colorectal area. You got a couple of internal, external hemorrhoids, got some anal abscesses, you got anal fissures. But don't worry, we're going to patch them up. We're going to patch them up real good for you. Let me tell y'all, have you really fixed the problem at the root? You fixed a few anal fissures or hemorrhoids around the colorectal area, but you're still chronically constipated upstream. Do you guys know what I'm talking about here? They don't want to fix problem at the root. They don't want to help you resolve this. Some of you, you may need to find yourself at one of those retreat centers where they do colon hydrotherapy, colonics every single day for a whole week for you. And you'll be surprised. There are many people that have gone down that path and they're not eating anything. They're just getting hydrated with electrolytes. But basically every single day, they're doing colonics. And they're just shocked at how much material that comes out of them day after day after day after day, even though they haven't been eating anything. Because their colon it has been stretched, right? And right now, over time, they're just slowly excavating the waste material out. Are you guys paying attention to this? So, liabilities, you want to study liabilities ahead. Many people said that, well, I'm going to trust the medical industrial complex. They got a lot of medications. There are a lot of OTC laxatives that can take. Their entire Facebook pages, people who are struggling with chronic constipation. And you can look at their problems. You can listen to their woes every single day. They tried everything. They have tried everything. And let me tell y'all, it's not a pretty sight, because some of them, they can become very depressed, right? Because all they think about is, I can't get this waste material out. So some of them are considering, oh, maybe I should stop eating. But if I stop eating, I get super hungry. But if I do eat, I'm worried I can't get the waste material out. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? If you don't, go look at some of these chronic constipation forums. There could be Facebook groups or Facebook pages. Go look them up. And you'll find them, I'm sure, in just about every major language. Because, as I've said before, people all over the world are struggling with chronic constipation. Next, I'm going to teach you guys some more information regarding digestive health, because this is an area many doctors overlook. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people that you're listening to right now, they cannot take you to the promised land. Many of you, you're struggling with internal parasites, and you don't even think internal parasites exist because you live in a first world country. You think that you're somehow exempt. You're living out in the United States. You're living out in Canada. You might be in Switzerland, or you might be in a very affluent country. You could be in Oman. You could be in Kuwait. Okay, you could be UAE. I don't care where you're at. Internal parasites, they don't care what type of passport you hold. As long as they can get inside your body, they're programmed to survive and replicate inside your body. Over here, people are finding worms in their Whole Foods salmon. Now, Whole Foods is a pretty upscale supermarket in the United States. Next, you have Costco. People are finding worms in their Costco salmon. And many people that they forward to doing like a sushi night, they get all the salmon from Costco or Whole Foods, and this is, hey, we're gonna make some rice and we're gonna do like a sushi party. It's a very common thing, especially if you're on the West Coast, Northern California, Sacramento, San Jose, that area, they love all that stuff. Alberta man gets first known Canadian case of worms from grocery store raw salmon. I can almost guarantee you he wasn't the first, and he's not going to be the last. What do you need to be doing? You need to study up on these books on parasitologies, on both human parasites and also veterinary parasitology, because many of you, you're very close with your pets. You let them lick all over your face, and as a result, these pets, they become vectors of parasites into your body. The United States has a dedicated national parasite collection. In this collection, they have over 100,000 specimens. Every single year, the number of parasites that they find in humans and also other animals just continues to increase. So our understanding of parasites is not even complete, even after hundreds of years. This is the liver fluke, very common. If you're eating undercooked beef, undercooked lamb, you may get liver flukes inside your body, or you're just eating raw liver. This is the liver, Liver King. He recommends people eat liver raw. Well, the liver is a source of vitamins and minerals, and liver flukes, they know that as well. So they can penetrate through the intestinal walls and begin to target your liver. Animal Planet, they did an amazing series, documentaries on parasites. You guys can look this up. Just type in Animal Planet, type in parasites. You will learn a lot. And that's part of the teachability index, right? I'm asking y'all to improve your willingness to learn. Okay, you're setting aside your favorite activities, and now you're actually watching some of these documentaries. Maybe later on, you're picking up some books at the library. Go to archive.org. Go to Library of Congress, or you go into your local universities. There are people who study this as a profession. It's Department of Parasitology. There are institutions, they study this. But let me tell you, your doctor, your family doctor, or most doctors, they don't pay attention to this at all, at all, at all. And when you go get some testings done, they always come back negative. Let me tell you, this is a big money-making machine for the industrial medical complex. That's why they don't want you to know about this information. Of course, don't take my word for this. Go research it for yourself. Many of you, you're watching a lot of the Food Network, and you're like, I want to be very fancy. I want to try new foods. Well, when you're eating any type of raw food, raw steaks, undercooked meats, you may get tapeworms. Tapeworms, you have fish tapeworms, you have pork tapeworms, you have beef tapeworms. There are different species of tapeworms. And tapeworms, they are hermaphrodites. And they can reproduce all by themselves. That's why they're called hermaphrodites. They have these things called progonids, these grid-like structures on their body, and that's their reproductive system. Inside this one progonid, it could hold up to 100,000 eggs. This person over in Thailand, they pulled out a tapeworm that was close to 60 feet, or roughly 18 meters. Over here, this is the life cycle of a roundworm. Roundworms are very, very common in your pets. Now, according to the CDC, estimated 800 million to 1.2 billion people worldwide have roundworms. And a lot of people, they don't pay attention to any of this until the problem is so severe. They go to the hospital, and now the doctors have to go and extract roundworms out of their colon. This is not spaghetti from the Olive Garden. These are roundworms. So if you're dealing with a lot of different stomach cramps and pain, nausea, unexplained weight gain or loss, swollen lymph nodes, digestive issues, constipation, diarrhea, persistent gas. Listen, these roundworms, they are just inside of you at all times. They're going to cause a whole bunch of other problems. So once again, what are the risk factors? We're dealing with that undercooked meat, or you're just eating raw meat in general. You're eating a lot of organ meats. You let your pets lick all over you. A lot of you Americans, Canadians, I don't know where you're French kissing your dogs. I just don't understand why you would do that. And some dogs, you don't know what they've been to all day when you're not watching them. Some dogs, they eat the feces of other dogs. And now you're just French kissing them. And you wonder why your body is deteriorating. You're having this problem here, that problem there. You're developing skin problems. Well, parasites, they're going to cause so many problems in your system. They could show up in many different ways. Or some of you, you're so excited about going down to the Amazons, doing your ayahuasca ceremony. You have no idea how to purify local water. Now you're just drinking contaminated water full of parasites. You come back, and your body is in a much difficult place. Okay? Now, I want to just showcase this. Go look this up for yourself. You do have these things called white blood cells. Your white blood cells, they can identify parasites. They can get rid of parasites to a degree. But many people, they're on something called corticosteroid therapy. Corticosteroid therapy. So what the corticosteroids do, they shut down the immune response. So you have a weakened immune system. In that environment, your parasites, they're going to survive and replicate that you cannot even believe. So go look up different things like neurocysticercosis, where parasites have gone outside of your digestive tract. They are in your blood. They're basically circulating to different parts of your body. They're eating out your brains. That's what neurocysticercosis is all about. Or they're in your muscle fibers now. So you could develop cysticercosis within your muscle fibers as well. Your body's just breaking down. But doctors, they don't look into this. And of course, if you're having a lot of unprotected sex, there are single cell protozoan parasites that could transfer between human beings. And then on top of the full-blown organisms, so these are single cell parasites, and these are just some of the parasites that could attack the human body. These are full-blown organisms. When they grow to a certain size, You don't even need a microscope to see them. Roundworms, liver flues, tapeworms, pinworms, you can see them with your naked eye. Okay? We cover a lot of material here, but what's your teachability index right now? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to look up information outside of this YouTube little stream? But what is your willingness to accept change? Are you willing to actually do some herbal products or study up on different OTC medications for parasite elimination, right? There's clove bud. People have been eliminating parasites for a long time. They use clove bud, they use wormwood, they use garlic extract, use oregano extract, oregano essential oils, different products that are out there. Of course, this is not professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. You got to find the winning combination for yourself under the guidance of your doctor. But are you willing to go down on this path? But I'm just saying, listen, you don't want to just target your internal parasites right away. Why don't you learn how to eliminate the waste material inside of you right now? You got to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. Get the waste material out. You want to work your way up, right? Just like you're working out, you have to do in baby steps, especially when you're first going to the gym. You don't know what you're doing, or any type of exercise. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to hurt yourself, because a lot of people, they're like, oh, I want to get rid of my internal parasites. Well, that might not be the best route, because let's just say you take those herbal products, right? Now you have a whole bunch of dead parasites sitting inside of you, and you still can't flush them out of your body. So they're going to continue to putrefy along with the waste material that's been putrefying inside your body right now. Does that kind of make sense? So let me know if you're on this call, if you're still paying attention to this call, how I can clear things up for you. Okay? Because it doesn't make any sense if you can't get rid of the waste material that's sitting inside of you right now, and then you're going after internal parasites. I don't think that's wise. How I did it was I moved my way up slowly. I first got rid of the internal parasites, got rid of the waste material, had to blast them all out, create this diarrhea tsunami, right? I did that for years and years. Then I started going after my internal parasites, and that recovered a lot of my health. But I didn't just stop there, guys. I want you guys, if you're like a mechanic, if you're mechanically inclined, you like to study different car parts, you know how to change your own oil, you like to read Chilton's and Haynes, okay? You're going to have a much easier time at this with your health. Because I didn't just stop at eliminating the waste material, eliminating the parasites out of my body. I started to study these organs one by one, such as the liver, gallbladder, pancreas, kidneys. I'm going through a lot of information right now, but you guys need to have the presence of mind. It's not enough just to have some information in your head. You need to think about your body parts. Like there are parts in a car, and you need to clean them out. You need to clean out your specific body parts. And there are ways that you can clean out these body parts. Yo, what's going on, Matthew? Puerto Rico. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for coming on. Yo, Matthew, I was just thinking about you. You know, you went through a lot of health journeys yourself. And I'm very proud of you, you know, for coming out of that and really, really upgrading your own personal health. Because you know how important it is. Because a lot of people, they don't have any major setbacks like that. So they think they can just push it off. They keep on pushing it off. I'm trying to help the younger folks how they can clean out their body inside and out, and start to learn about these internal organs one by one, so they can get the congestion out of their body. So since Matthew was on, I want to share a little bit about more of my journey with this, because when you're dealing with joint pains, when you're dealing with a lot of different discomforts around your body, you're even dealing with edema. Edema is basically your feet. They get swollen up just a little bit after you eat. Now, when you're young, you don't think that's a problem, right? Let me tell you, it's a big problem. You need to catch these early signs of edema, because it's fluid retention. Your body's holding on to fluid for whatever reason, and you need to fix it early, because if you don't, this edema, fluid retention is going to get worse and worse all on its own. And before you know it, you're going to have feet looking like Fred Flintstone. I'm not joking. Or Frankenstein. I was just at 7-Eleven last night. I was walking around, going to the 7-Eleven, and I've seen this guy not just one time, but multiple times. His feet completely swollen up, and they are basically rotting away. That's how bad it can get. When you're dealing with edema or weeping edema. A lot of you don't believe me. Let's look at the weeping edema. What is weeping edema? Weeping edema refers to the leakage of a fluid from the skin, often associated with severe swelling edema. It's a condition where excess fluid in the body's tissues leak out, frequently seen in cases of generalized swelling, lymphedema, and severe leg edema. All right, so let's talk about this. You want to reverse engineer this, all right? Why is there so much fluid retention? You have to look at blood viscosity. So you want to go research on blood viscosity. Why is blood viscosity going higher and higher? Because your blood filtering organs are messed up. You have two major blood filtering organs. One of them is the liver. If you have any congestion inside the gallbladder that is full of gallstones, you have any congestion inside the common bile duct, that means fluid retention is taking place inside the liver. The blood is going through the filtering through the liver every single day. So your liver has to handle 250 gallons per day. And I'm sure the number is a lot higher if you're an athlete. So you have to really monitor this, because a lot of people that go to the hospital, they do some liver tests. The doctor's telling them, listen, you have a non-alcoholic fatty liver. You're like, what the hell? I'm not even drinking alcohol and have a fatty liver. That's what they call it, non-alcoholic fatty liver. And the condition of this liver just gets worse and worse. It goes to a fatty liver, then it goes to liver fibrosis, then it goes to liver cirrhosis. It is a terrible path to go down. And I'm recommending you people, there's a book by Andreas Moritz. It's called The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush by Andreas Moritz. He outlines in his protocol how you can flush out gallstones out of the gallbladder. You guys understand? Get the gallbladder waste material out of the gallbladder. The gallbladder contains something called bile, which is super important to help you break down healthy fats. Healthy fats are very much needed to assimilate your fat-soluble vitamins, vitamins A, D, E, and K. Okay. Of course, it also protects your, it provides a coating for your small and large intestines. Very important. But a lot of people, they wait, the situation is so bad. They go to the hospital and now they have a gallbladder attack. YouTubers, I saw this YouTuber had a gallbladder attack in South America, had to go to the hospital right away. And the doctor, they extract your gallbladder altogether. You don't want that. I'm telling you, you have to fix the problem before that problem is so severe. Why do they want you to go down this path? Because they're doing at least 1.2 million surgeries per year. This is just in the United States, with an average cost of $4,600. This is before all the other complication stuff, okay? This is a $5.5 billion industry. So if you want to improve your blood viscosity, you want to fix the liver, and you also want to fix your kidneys. If you are going to improve the conditions of your liver, that's going to lift a lot of pressure off your kidneys, because your kidney is doing about 1/5 of the filtering process. And a lot of people want to study up on this early, because blood is going to go through, okay, your kidneys. But if your blood viscosity is going higher and higher, number one, if you're dealing with diabetes, listen, blood viscosity is going to go up, because there's something called hemoglobin glycation. Hemoglobin glycation, where your red blood cells, they're sticking to one another. So now you have blood viscosity going up. And now when it gets to your feet, it has a very tough time coming back, right? So that's the beginning signs of edema. And if you don't fix that problem, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Another thing about diabetes, I want you guys to really look at this chart. Where's insulin production? Do you guys know where's insulin production? Insulin production is taking place in the pancreas. So let's take a quick look at that photo right there. So over here. So over here, this is your pancreas right here. Now, most people, you just have one pancreatic duct. It's called the Wirsun, W-I-R-S-U-N-G. Now, some people have another one called the Santorini on top. But both of them, they're connected to the common bile duct. If you have any obstruction in the pancreas, you're not going to secrete the right amount of insulin into the duodenum, the beginning part of your small intestines. See how these different connections are so important to one another? The common bile duct has so many responsibilities. It's got to handle the waste material from the liver, dump it into the duodenum. Over here, gallbladder, bile coming through over here. But if your gallbladder is full of gallstones, you're not really getting any bile. Over here, if you have any obstruction in the pancreatic duct, you're going to get inflammation in the pancreas. Not only that, you're not going to get the right amount of insulin in your system. And now your blood sugar is showing, oh, you have high blood sugar. Now they're going to urge you to go down the path of taking insulin every single day to manage your blood sugar. Another thing a lot of people don't look into is the presence of parasites. Parasites, they can attack your pancreas too. There's an article, you guys can look it up. It's called Ascaris-induced pancreatitis. Ascaris-induced pancreatitis. Pancreatitis caused by Ascaris. What is Ascaris? Ascaris, we looked at them before. It's roundworms. So just imagine this, all right? So over here, you got this guy, he's got all these roundworms inside the colon. Don't you think a lot of roundworms can also attack your pancreas? So you're losing pancreatic cells. Pancreatic cells are supposed to help you produce the insulin inside the duodenum, help you regulate blood sugar levels. So think of your body in that way. You're like, okay, I need to be fixing these organs early. I need to fix them one by one. I need to get the parasites out of my body. But before I do that, I need to get rid of the waste material using all natural ingredients. From there, I need to do it on a very consistent basis. I don't just want to be lackadaisical. And most people, they have all the information. They watch my videos. I've given out my program out for free in the past. And they don't take any action. Their willingness to accept change is an absolute 0. So they may have a 10 out of 10 with their willingness to learn, but they're 0 out of 10 with their willingness to accept change. 10 times 0 is still a 0. So they're not coachable. And that's how you can quantify your teachability index. If your life is not moving the direction that you want, don't blame other people. Look at yourself. Before you're thinking about all the vision boards, affirmations, all that stuff, come back to these 4 major basics. Who do you listen to? Are you listening to the right people? Can these people really take you to the promised land? Have they demonstrated success themselves? Can they relate to the problem you're experiencing right now? And they can identify with, yes, I experienced those problems in the past, and this is how I overcame, right? Through these series of steps, and I'm very persistent, very consistent. I'm not just doing it every once in a while. Every single week. There are only 52 weeks in a year. And all 52 weeks, I'm doing some type of protocol. Like this weekend, I'm going to do the liver cleanse again, outlined by Andreas Moritz. Do I look forward to doing this? No, I don't look forward to it. But yes and no, because I know when I'm on the other side, I'm going to feel even better, right? A lot of these, whatever, I'm learning a lot. Like, I'm very grateful because life is a video game. Until you're willing to do these basic things, you're not going to upgrade your cognition to the next set of lessons. They're not going to be revealed to you. And until you're willing to step your way up through your actions, So we went from cleaning out the small and large intestines, right? So that's the first part. If you're consistent in doing that, then when you're dealing with internal parasites, you'll have the cognition. You'll be like, okay, this is important. I need to get rid of them. Otherwise, you just push it on your back burner, never look at it. But once you get rid of the internal parasites, you're like, wow, there's a lot more to this. I can see the trajectory of my health. It's getting better and better and better. What am I going to do next? I'm going to eliminate, get the waste material out of my internal organs one by one. I'm going to study out human physiology like I never had before. I'm going to learn about the liver, learn about the gallbladder, learn about the pancreas. If you are anywhere mechanically inclined, if you were that guy when I was young, I didn't have a lot of money, so I had to change my own oil. I had to buy these books at O'Reilly's or AutoZone. But that was a huge benefit because it's understandable. I'm like, these are just car parts, right? And if you don't change your oil, of course, that oil viscosity is going to go higher and higher. That means your gas mileage is going to go lower and lower, and you might even blow out your engine. So that's why you got to take a good track record of when did you do your oil change? When's the last time you changed out transmission? Okay, transmission belt. And then you got to be looking at your fuel filter as well, because there was a time my engine was kicking out. Right? I was like, why is my engine kicking out? And I was flipping through that book, and I was like, oh, it might be time for you to change out your fuel filter. Because if your fuel filter is all clogged up, you're not getting a constant stream of gasoline into your engine. And you wonder why you're on the highway, your engine just kicks out. Let me show you how you can get your engine back online when you're just drifting on the highway. What you do is, when that happens, if you want to get your engine cranked back up, you want to just turn, you want to go to your neutral. Okay, you just switch your gear into neutral. And from that position, while your car is still coasting, you can try to turn your car over. And sometimes it does, click over, turn your car over, the engine starts running again, and you can put it back into drive. So that's a small little hack if you're on this call. That's what I had to do. Man, I had the first car that I bought, secondhand, but eventually all these secondhand vehicles, they give you a lot of problems. So Andreas Moritz, and in chapter 5, he also has the outline for the kidney detox. Right? And I just want to do this in order. I've been doing the kidney detox for a couple of months now. It's definitely helping me a lot. Listen, guys, let me tell you, if you're dealing with any prostate problems, basically, if you are having trouble peeing, if you cannot pee right away, for whatever reason, you're dealing with prostate issues, don't just try to fix the prostate. You want to look at the condition up above, okay? So if your kidneys are messed up, that means whatever material that is being secreted out of the kidneys is going to affect your bladder, it's going to affect your bladder, it's going to affect your prostate. So cleaning out the kidney, super important. Were there going to be some time to discomfort? Yes. But within a couple of months, you're going to be peeing a lot easier. Okay? And that's one thing. It's like, get the congestion out. Change the oil, change your oil. But it's not enough to change your oil, right? You got to change out the filter. But listen, there are many people, they're on that liver transplant list and they never get that liver transplant. You don't want to go down that path. Don't think that, oh, I have the best insurance in the world. No. Or you're going to go somewhere in Southeast Asia and get your liver transplant done. No. I just don't recommend it. Why don't? Because when you go down that path, let's just say you do a liver transplant, the body knows this is not your liver. So what they're going to do is they're going to make you take a whole bunch of medication, such as corticosteroids, to prevent an inflammatory response. They don't want your body rejecting this new organ. Your body is your responsibility. You have to do your best to get the waste material out of the body, to eat right, to exercise right. Because Your body waste eliminating pathways is either urination, defecation, and sweating through the lymph nodes. So sweating is incredibly important. If you're not sweating, that means you just got all this waste material backing up in your lymph system. Make sweating a priority. And some of y'all may go get a sweat lodge where you can build one yourself. There are these blueprints basically free online, where you can just buy one that teach you how you can build a little sauna in your own home, where you can buy one, right? I just don't think it's rocket science. I saw this one dude do it. I mean, as long you have that, you like to work with your hands, you like to build, or you can just buy one, or you have a routine. You go to your gym and you want to find ones that do have saunas. Okay, you can go in, make yourself sweat, right? Or you just exercise, make yourself sweat. You got to do something, y'all. So your health is not going to get better on itself, because many people, they count on the spiritual world to pull them out of that mess. For example, they got to call up their prayer warriors, their intercessor warriors. And yes, from time to time, that does help in a pinch, right? But listen, there are very practical things that you must do. And that's why I appreciate about Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command. Coming back to this, you guys get the CD set, all right? Or audio program completely for free. This is for free. You guys can get this completely for free. You get it for free and you listen to it. And I certainly didn't get all this information first time I listened to it. And I still listen to it every single year because I want to increase my ability to learn, increase my ability to accept change. Because new level, new devil. The moment you relax, okay, the moment you take your gas off that pedal, you don't want to be in that place. You're either expanding or you're contracting. That's it. That's with your mind, with your finances, with your health, and it's going to be uphill, right? But if you just say, hey, I just want to kick back and relax, and that's what many people do. They look forward to retirement, right? So they retire 60, 65. They had no goals. They just sit at home in a very vegetative state. Their body just falls apart. You don't want to be like that. And that is a program. That is a self-image they put inside of you. And that's what we're going to talk about next with the training balance scale. So before I do that, I just want to take a little bit of a break. But you guys can ask me questions. Don't be shy. I know some people have been on here before. Appreciate you. People like Matthew. We got a note from Nasser. Nasser, where are you from? Yeah, let me know where you guys are from. Be happy to connect with y'all. And just kind of bounce some back forth ideas with y'all. Just getting some water here before we jump to the next topic. All right. What is the training balance scale? Training balance scale, I'm still learning it. I don't have the full grasp of it. And I'm still improving my understanding of it. So think of a scale that tilts back and forth. Okay. On one side of the scale, it's about how you think and how you feel. Your dreams, goals, attitudes, your mental processes, your vibration, internal motivation. At the surface level, it is about monitoring your thoughts. Are you utilizing positive mental attitude? Are you thinking positive? Are you filling your mind with positive intentions, positive affirmations, things of that nature? Because most people are not doing that, even at the conscious level. The next other side of this training balance scale are the how actions, the specific techniques, the strategies, the action steps, the plans and activities, the physical actions. Now, in the world of personal development, they always stress on this side of the training balance scale, the how actions. They always say the reason why you're not achieving your results because You don't know the specific techniques. You don't know the strategies. You're not using the right action steps. You don't know the activities. You don't know the physical actions. So you're just stressed out. It's like, is it going to be SEO marketing? Is it going to be Facebook marketing, right? Do I need to learn about Facebook ads? Do I need to be doing shorts, doing reels? There's always something new that is coming on, and they can keep on marketing to you these how actions. But I think it's more important for, well, according to Kevin, he says, it's more important to think about how you think and how you feel, because everyone has a different path. Okay, you have to really ingrain, not just with your conscious mind, but in the subconscious mind, on positive way of thinking, positive way of feeling at all times. The world is going to make you focus on the conscious thinking, that short-term memory, your logical thinking, your willpower. You can see your willpower is very limited, your decisions, your analysis, and that's what's happening in the conscious level. But at a very much deeper level, that's where your true self-image is at, your true habits and beliefs, your true values, your self-worth, your imagination, your self-confidence, your long-term memory, how you truly feel, how you think at a very, very core level. That's where you need to unearth and reprogram, because the world's been reprogramming you to a bunch of failure programs. You're engineered for success, okay? You were born to succeed, but you've been programmed to fail. It's just like a computer system. Your mind works like a computer system. You can boot it up with really good information, and this is what the dark occult, you can call the parasitic elite. They work on this the most. They work on their self-image. They work on their posture. They work on their way of communication. They work on etymology. Because they know this is the thing that transforms everything else around them. Not just the small little techniques that people learn. Oh, this is the new course I should be buying, right? It's always something deeper. When you sit down by yourself in your car, no music to listen to, nothing to distract you, in the middle of nowhere, what's really coming up in your thoughts? Are you having imagination, just imaginative arguments with random people? Maybe people you never even met before. Are you having physical fights with them? Okay. And that is a particular state the dark occult, the parasitic elite wants to keep you in. It's always that frustration. It could be disappointments of the past. It could be many different things that is holding you back. That is the type of energy that is holding you back. How you think and how you feel at a very core level. Now, through repetition, if you continue to train your mind to think the positive, over time, that's going to get down into your subconscious mind as well, as you continue to work with a mastermind who are also thinking in the right direction. They are also want to improve themselves, right? But it won't be before long if you hang around with the wrong people. Okay, if you're rolling dice in West Harlem, that's not going to help you achieve your goals. So associations, they do matter. What you do at the conscious level, what you do out in the physical world, but the inner world is always going to override your outer world. As within, so without. Okay? So what we have here, the training balance scale, we always want to continue to refine our dreams, goals, attitudes, mental processes, your vibrations at a very core level. You want to take a deep dive at that at all times, because they've been programming you at a very early age. I just looked this up. This King of the Hill has been around since 1997. That's a long time. I had no idea it's been around that long. Homer Simpson, much longer than that. So these are the type of avatars they're trying to program inside of your subconscious mind. This is how you truly feel. This is how you truly dream. Your goals are not that, for most people, it's because you've been programmed this way. Okay, because you've been watching people like Cheers, watching Norm on Cheers, Al Bundy, Married with Children, watching Peter, a Family Guy, even the guy, South Park, Hartman, he's overweight. And you watch these characters year in, year out. You identify with them. spending 30 minutes with Hank, another 30 with Homer Simpson, the 30 minutes with Cheers reruns, 30 minutes, you're 2 hours in. And you can see they are very, very consistent across the board. Now, were there positive programming in the past? They're slightly more positive. I would say Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, okay? But even Uncle Phil, he was overweight. Then you have Family Matters with Urkel, right? What's his name? Carl. Carl, he was overweight. So you're watching all these people in that family man role, they're all overweight, and you wonder why your waistline is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Doesn't matter what you do. Right? There are a lot of things that you can do in the natural. Today I talked about things that you can do in the natural, such as cleaning out small and large intestines, eliminating internal parasites, getting the congestion out of your liver, getting the congestion out of your kidneys, so your blood viscosity returns to normal. Just from that, your metabolism is going to skyrocket. My metabolism is kind of like in my early 20s now. It doesn't really matter how much I eat. I'm not gaining weight. That's just how it is. I know some of you may not believe me, but that's how it is. But not only did I do things in the natural, but I also do things in the unconscious thinking. You want to be doing things that can train your subconscious mind that you are somebody with a six-pack all year round. You're not going to settle for a dad bod anymore. This is what I look like all year round. If you want to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, it's not just doing things that you know in the natural, but you got to be working with that inner blueprint. Your inner blueprint of who you are, that self-image of who you are. Because for too long, it's these characters that's down there, okay? It's these characters. And you wonder why you have such a hard time losing weight, or you're going to the mall and you're looking at these mannequins with dad bods. You're not going to see this in Eastern Europe. You're not going to find this type of mannequins in Russia. Maybe you will one day if they continue to program their men in a very negative way through programming. But many people, for whatever reason, they turn 21, they have their own place, they go to the grocery store, and then they're like, I don't know why, but I'm going to pick up a case of beers. That's where it all begins. You just drink one beer after the next, because you're drinking with these guys mentally. When you're a teenager, you're not drinking the beer, but you're watching these people. That's your routine, day in and day out, day in and day out. And I think what's training balance skill has a lot to do at a much deeper level on how you think and how you feel at a very, very core level. So, and there are ways to unearth all that. If you want to go to the next level yourself, don't just think about, I need to change my surface behaviors. There's always a deeper level that you can get to. Unearth this unconscious part right here. And I'm experimenting in myself, right? And I'm very aggressive about this. I'm doing meditations every single day and trying to fine tune this portion right here. Fine tune, right? Because I know if I can tune this up, all the other stuff will be easier. It's not about, oh, I need to be picking up this course or that course. I'll be directed to the right action steps. I'll be directed to the right techniques. You guys understand? Because we all have different paths to take. And we all have different strengths, right? So from there, you'll be presented with the right information. Now, I gave you guys a lot of principles. It doesn't have to be my protocol, right? I'm just saying there are some principles that you need to follow. Your digestive system is categorically the same. Some people, they may have longer, some people are shorter. It's because some people are taller, some people are shorter. That's it. But I'm saying this pipe, this alimentary canal is the same categorically. You need to get the waste material out of this pipework. Now, you don't necessarily have to use my protocol to get it done. You may find your own way, right? You're going to be taken to the right technique for you. Or you better recognize their internal parasites. A lot of you still don't believe, but I don't care how you get it done. You're going to have to eliminate internal parasites out of your body. and you're going to have to make better food choices. You can't be going back eating all this raw food and thinking you're going to be okay. No. Let me tell you why people have this urge to eat raw food. Okay? The parasites, they're so inside of you. Parasites, let me tell you how they get inside. There are a couple of stages that they get to, all right? So first they place a siege inside of you. Then they breach, all right? They can penetrate through intestinal walls. And they're going to occupy you. They're going to capitulate your organs one by one. Don't you think they're going to communicate with you when they are just hooked? They are eating your brains out, first of all. Next, what are they doing? This is the rostellum. This is the part that they latch onto your organs. They can latch onto your intestinal walls. They're going to tell you to eat all the time. So you have this urge to eat this food and that food. You can't even control yourself. Do you know why that is? Maybe it's not just you. Maybe it's because these parasites, they want to breed, okay? They want to get inside of, they want to be consuming more. They want to get into, they want to find new fat. What do they want to do? In order to preserve or to increase genetic diversity, okay? They want to introduce more parasites. And the way they do it is they're going to urge you to eat more of these type of foods. Go study the papers, okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I know a lot of people don't believe anything that I'm saying, and that's perfectly fine, you know? But I'm going to take a little bit of a break before we talk about the next step. Do you guys have any questions for me? What's going on? What's on your mind? What is on your mind? We got 7 people here. Hello, hello. Actually, not 7. Some of them, they're me. We got maybe 3 people here. What's happening? Where's everybody from? We got Matthew from Puerto Rico. And I live in Taiwan. I'm interested to hear where you guys are from and what questions you have, you know? What can I help you with? What can I clarify? All right. 4 steps to learning, all right? And once again, these takes about 5 minutes to learn, lifetime to master. When we're learning something, we're trying to master something, we go from a place of unconscious incompetence. And we gradually move our way up to conscious incompetence. Then you move your way up to conscious competence. And then you move your way up to unconscious competence. This could be driving your car. This could be using chopsticks. Could be tying shoelaces. Could be riding a bicycle. So when you first start riding a bicycle, you don't know what you're doing. You're going to have your loved ones, family around you. Maybe you start on a tricycle with training wheels on. When they're going to teach you and say you got to put your hand on these handles, and then you're going to pedal your feet this way so you can get that forward momentum going. And that's how you begin riding that tricycle. Over time, you're going to watch your neighborhood kids, and you're like, wow, they know how to ride that bicycle. Some of them, they're riding a bicycle, hopping wheelies, or they're riding the bicycle without their hand on their handles. So in that place, you're like, wow, there's a lot I don't know about riding a bicycle. But over time, you're going to get better and better. The neurology, the skill set of learning how to ride a bicycle is going to get hardwired into your subconscious mind, because you're going to develop something called conscious competence. Your parents are going to be like, going to take off the training wheels. You're going to practice on a bicycle. Yes, the bike's going to fall over a couple of times, but it's okay. You're going to get back, get that forward momentum going, balance out, okay? And over time, you're going to get better and better, better and better at riding a bicycle. You know that you know something about riding a bike. And before you know it, you're going to develop unconscious competence. You're going to get a phone call from your neighborhood kids and say, hey, we're going to go ride our bikes over there at the park. And you just hop on your bike and you just go. All the initial struggles that you had are no longer there. How do you know this thing is installed in your subconscious mind? Well, many people, they don't even ride a bike for many years. They go to college, start working, driving a car, or they go to vacation somewhere, and maybe they hear about this bike trail. Say, hey, let's go get some bike rentals and go on that bike trail. And in that moment, you're not going to be anxious about it. You're not going to be like, oh, I haven't been on a bicycle for so long. I don't know if I can do it. No, you've installed that skill in your subconscious mind. It's all the way down here in the unconscious thinking. I don't care what brand of that bike is. It doesn't matter. You know how to ride that bike. And just to show you how powerful we are as human beings, if we can just come back, okay, what am I installing right now in my unconscious thinking? And what can I do to install things that I want rather than more things that I don't want? Because everything that you're getting in your life right now, it's a vibrational match. I don't care the relationship you're bumping into, business deals you're bumping into. If you're having a lot of one step forward, two steps back, there are things that are holding you back. Maybe there are unconscious vows that you made in the past that's holding you back. Or maybe certain things from your ancestry that has programmed you in a certain way that is holding you back. Those things we need to be eliminating from our subconscious mind, but we got to reprogram it. It's not enough just to eliminate. You need to replenish. Just so when I tell people, listen, after you clean out yourself from the inside, it's not enough just to go back to your trash eating. You cannot do that. You got to have a new set of patterns. So what I usually tell people to do, what you guys need to do after you clean out your small and large intestines, you need to take some probiotics. Probiotics are super important for your microbiome, okay? It's going to provide the protective layer, but it's going to help you digest, to help you assimilate that food. And after that, you want to be loading up on electrolytes, hydration, coconut water, watermelon juice. You got to replenish your sodium chloride, potassium, calcium, magnesium. Okay, very important. You need to do that on a daily basis. Every single day I'm drinking coconut water, every single day. A lot of people are missing this. They're depleted. Your body is not going to run right when you're depleted of essential vitamins and minerals. And you cannot go back into your trash eating. So you got to be eating something very, very soft when you're beginning to. If you do my detox protocol and you go back eating your French fries and burgers and stuff, you're going to throw up because your body is going to reject that food. I've already tried it, so I don't recommend it. And I thought about the way how our body is geared, and our subconscious mind works in very similar matter. We got to clean things out in our subconscious mind, but we got to replenish it with positive thinking and programming. And I'm experimenting with different modalities, and but my expectation is I want to be changing my inner vibration. Your inner vibration dictates your outer experience, people, situations, circumstances, right? Some people, you just got to get away from people that are just unlucky all the time. They just have this unfavorable wind in their sails at all times. You got to get away from those people because they're going to take you into their whirlwind, okay? And you got to be very selective. If you want to be on a path where you're just staircasing your way back up into brighter expectations, better opportunities, there are a lot of things that you can do, not just in the natural, but also in the unconscious thinking. A program that's been helping me out a lot is this little tool that my friend Brad, he put together. Now, it's using ChatGPT. It's using different prompts that he put together himself. And what this does is, oftentimes you're looking for a coach. You don't know who to listen to. Why don't you design your own coach? This coach is a future version of yourself. And I've been using this every single day. It's very, very helpful. I've been down some path. It opened up, explore a lot of different material I've never been exposed to in the past. Because this thing is so, how do I say, it's so tailored to your needs. Because oftentimes you're dealing with a coach, but that coach doesn't really understand where you're coming from. Well, if you develop your own coach through this AI for $10, and it's not the right thing for you, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, that's Brad right there. So Brad, he's somebody that I've known for 15 years. I've known him since 2012. We've been through a lot in the internet marketing place in Southern California. People know Brad. If you're in person development, he's extremely successful. He works at the top of the top in internet marketing and also personal branding. He worked with Jesse Itzler. He's worked with millionaires and billionaires. And you guys can look him up. He's very, very, I would say, low key. He's not one of those guys on Instagram. You'll see him like putting up posts every single day. He doesn't need to. Okay. What I'm trying to say is he's very successful. And I want you guys just to evaluate this for yourself. Because if it's not the right thing for you, you can get an entire refund. And I also want you to take a quick look at his 30-day program, because he's evaluated so many different programs or AI tools that are out there. And something you want to look into is his 30-day program, where he just highlights the best of the best. Well, what's he going to do? He's going to help you reset your attention. I've eliminated so many things off my radar. Got rid of so many email subscriptions I didn't need. I got rid of a lot of these phone apps. You just don't need them, okay? Then you're going to reclaim your identity. You want to install this Future Lens framework, and you're going to do that with this tool using the Future You AI coach. This coach has been so helpful for me because every single day I can just check in, right? By checking in, I know what my tasks are. And one of the tasks that I do almost on a daily basis is going live, right? To better my public speaking skills, to explain about your wish is your command, because these are the programs that's really transformed my life. Number one, Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command. Next, I've also highlighted my program, the Mega Poop Transformation Challenge. Now, this program deals with the small and large intestines and elimination of parasites. Now, I have other programs as well. I have another program that specifically deals with liver and gallbladder cleanse protocol. All right, so this one, I also put it up there. Now, it's not going to be free, and I don't have any refunds for my programs. I just don't, because people, they don't take it seriously if I give it out for free. So what I'm going to do in this program, the liver and gallbladder cleanse, you have to overview liver anatomy and functions. Then I'm going to talk about gallstone formation in video 2. In video 3, talk about practical pessimism. In video 4, I have the step-by-step liver cleanse at home. I got the detailed guidance on timing, technique, and what to expect. Okay? So I didn't include it. I didn't explain what you also get. You get my own personal journal that I update every 2 weeks. So you know what I'm going through, the picture, the gallstones that are being released from my own body. If you think $800 is too expensive, have you looked into how expensive those surgeries are? And that's before all the other post-surgery complications. So I have different programs up in my protocols that you guys can look, right? So I have very inexpensive ones as well. If you want to get PDFs, over here, I have one over here. This is only for $8. How to get rid of internal parasites. Over here, if you just want an overview on your digestive system, the No BS Guide to Digestive System, the Weight Loss Secret, doesn't have any videos. Over here, this is another one, only $8. Improve your liver health and increase your energy and sex drive. I kid you guys not. If you want to improve your sex drive, fix your liver. That's all you have to do. You don't have to take no Viagra. You don't have to take any of that stuff. That's all bullshit. Those are all temporary reliefs. Because your liver, if it's functioning correctly, everything else works better. Everything, 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 everything. And there was a time I was dealing with high blood pressure too. All that went away, right? Because if you clean the filter, blood viscosity is going to go down. Okay? So I'm going to leave this link over here for you guys to just evaluate, see what's important for you. But if you want the free program, this is free. Kevin Trudeau's program is completely for free. Get that program. That is put in a, all right? So before I close out today, do you guys have any questions for me? I cover a lot of content. I show you guys how I use Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command, and how I use this and how I continue to use it to better my health. The 4 steps to mastery, it's really a lifelong thing, because you think that you know about something, all of a sudden you get knocked in the face and you go back to square one. It's just when you think that you know something, the universe has a way of just humbling you, because you learn about digestive health, you fix that, all of a sudden you get knocked to square one because you don't know anything about parasites. You never looked them up. So you go back on that, you spend hundreds of hours studying about internal parasites. And then you do that, you think you're on top of the world, you get knocked back again because you know nothing about liver health. So you spend a couple more hundreds of hours on just studying liver health. You can study one single organ for the rest of your life, and you won't get through it all. That is the absolute truth. Then you get just through on liver health, and now I'm just starting on kidney health, right? And after that, I got to work on the spleen. Do you guys know what a spleen is? Spleen is very, very connected to your lymphatic system. A lot of people don't even know what it is. And what doctors usually do, they always just try to remove things. They think that, oh, it's inflamed, I need to remove it. I need to remove this. And no, your organs are there for a reason. You don't just remove your organs for no reason. Okay? So I disagree with a lot of these things that the doctors usually talk about. Okay, here we go. The spleen, it is connected to the lymphatic system right there. Through the splenic vein, splenic artery, right? Right there. So what can I do to improve the condition of this? Because this is directly connected to the lymphatic system. So one thing I explained before is if you want to alleviate the stress off of this, you want to be sweating on a regular basis, so you can get the waste material out of the lymphatic system. It has to go through your skin, right? Because when you don't sweat, all these fluids are going to get backed up in your lymphatic system, and that's going to contribute to that fluid retention. All right, here we go. It's about the size of an avocado. It's part of your immune system. So if you can alleviate the stress, you're going to alleviate any type of fluid retention in the spleen. Here we go. It stores blood, filters blood by removing cellular waste and getting rid of old or damaged blood cells. Isn't that important? Make white blood cells and antibodies that help you fight infection. Maintains the levels of fluid in your body. Everything's important, guys. Everything. Don't let your doctors convince you this is not important and they can just remove it. Why don't you learn how to improve the condition so it doesn't become inflamed? And that's what most people don't do. They always wait until the liver is completely inflamed, or they're dealing with fibrosis. When you're at this stage, you're really in trouble. But I believe if you're in this area, you're between here and here, there is still opportunity for you to go in this in reverse. When you're here, everything is messed up. when you're dealing with liver cirrhosis, because your liver is hardened, right? It's no longer a functioning blood filtering organs. So what did you learn today? You have at least 3 blood filtering organs. You have your liver, you have your kidneys, and the spleen. Every organ's important, and every organ's going to take time for you to learn, and you have to pour through a lot of different books you never read before. And I don't know how else to do it. You guys explain to me how else to do it. What are the benefits when you're doing liver detox? For me, no more joint pains, deeper sleep, faster recovery from sports and injuries, restore libido health, faster metabolism, 0 weight loss rebound, faster hair and nail growth. That is no joke, guys. I have to cut my nails more than once a week. That's how fast they grow. Overall youthfulness, run longer, lift heavier without supplementations. If that's what you want, this is the anti-aging hack. But is it easy? No, it's not easy. It's not just about, oh, all I have to do is take another supplement and I'm right back. No, that's not how life works. Supplements, in the short term, they'll offer you some temporary relief, but that's another detour that they have for you. What is down there in the subconscious mind? They always tell you you're not enough. You're not enough. That's what's in the subconscious mind. So when you hear, I need to buy the supplement because I'm missing this mineral, I'm missing this supplement, you go ahead and buy it. Now, I also talked about minerals before, but I'm doing it in an all natural way. I highly recommend you guys just get coconut water, buy some watermelons, eat some fruits. You can make your own Gatorade. You don't have to buy that nasty Gatorade that they sell. You know what I'm saying? So what are we trying to avert? This is what we're trying to avert. We do not want to be on dialysis, all right? Because if you're looking at an evergreen market, this is the evergreen market. And if you don't want to be spending all your time at the dialysis center, you want to be improving the conditions of your organs while you're young. I don't know if I can even reach people in my generation. I'm in my 40s. People in my generation, they're so brainwashed. They think that the doctor's going to fix them. So I really don't know if I can help people around my age. I wish somebody had told me this when I was in my 20s, but it really takes a special person for somebody in their 20s to have the presence of mind to actually say, oh, what he's sharing is very important. I'm going to take action on it. If I'm 1 to 2 days chronically constipated, I need to fix it right away. Instead of letting it sit, it becomes 3 to 4 days, 4 to 5 days, 5 to 6 days, and now I'm a whole week into it, and I'm just begging and pleading. I'm calling my prayer warriors to help me on my behalf. No. Don't do that. So, do you guys have any questions for me? What's going on? What are your thoughts? So this is the path that I took. Detox the small and large intestines regularly. Parasite detox regularly. Liver and gallbladder flush regularly. Kidney cleanse regularly. Heavy metal detox regularly. What are the KPIs I'm trying to restore? Urination. A lot of you don't even drink enough water. You're wondering why you're dehydrated, you're not feeling well. Your body doesn't even have enough water to get the waste material out. Daily bowel movements. Daily. Sweating. Portable sauna is okay. Or you go somewhere where they have saunas installed. You go regularly. So how you can drain your lymphatic system, right? Today we also learn about the spleen. And the spleen is very, very crucial for us to filtering the blood and getting rid of old red blood cells. So you have new red blood cells circulating in your body, providing oxygen. So thanks so much for watching this presentation. Hey, This is your opportunity, guys. What questions do you have? What's going on? What's on your mind? What is on your mind? This is not your some pre-recorded call. Okay, nothing like that. I want you guys to have somewhat of an interactive experience with me. That'll be very beneficial. Well, I wish I had somebody to talk to when I was going through this stuff. Mm. And yeah, you guys are also free to correct me. I'm perfectly okay with that, right? Because I can learn from my mistakes too, right? So let me know. Yeah, cover a lot of content today. We went over Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command, the lessons, and how I applied it to my own personal health. So you can see by applying it on a consistent basis, and I'm still applying it. I went from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. I have a six-pack abs all year round, all right? So I may be somebody you could listen to. But I didn't just stop there. I also learned the importance of, all right, I need to really be changing my subconscious programming because it's all down there. So I'm like, I need to detox the unwanted things that are programmed in there, but also reinstalling. And I know it's not gonna get done overnight. A lot of you want the fast, right? Let me tell you, it's not fast. None of these protocols are fast, or you're gonna get these results right away. It doesn't work like that. It's years and years of persistence. Years and years of dedication. Years and years of, okay, I'm not going out with my friends, where they're going camping, I can't go with them, or I had to say no a lot, right? But if you want these type of results, because all I see people around my age group, their health is horrible. Their health, they've already given up. Right? They have already given up. And it doesn't matter if I tell them about this stuff. I share with them, hey, this is what you can do to change your life. The type of response that I get, they kind of just shrug their shoulders, And I know, what does that mean? They're not teachable. They don't have a willingness to learn. They don't have a willingness to change. So we can recap by coming back to these basics. Where are you right now? Who do you listen to? Who are you listening to right now? Can they really take you to the promised land? Are you listening to somebody right now you've been following through, but they don't have the results themselves, or you're following through on a set of directions, but your goal is to keep getting farther and farther away from you? Next, what is your teachability index? How teachable are you? What is your willingness to learn? How willing are you to set aside your favorite activities and you're replacing them with audios, replacing them with books, replacing them with online classes or attending conferences online? You're doing something to shove information into your head to better yourself. But it's not enough to just have a whole bunch of information. What is your willingness to accept change? What kind of score would you give yourself on a score of 1 to 10? Or for some people, it's a 0 to 10, right? Because many people, they are very knowledgeable. They can quote from Aristotle to Alexander the Great to Marcus Aurelius. But when you look at their life, no changes. They don't have a willingness to accept change. After all these years, Hank is still in the same house. Homer Simpson, still in the same house, still in Springfield. Did you guys know Springfield, it is the second most common, I don't care if they call it a town a township, a locale in the United States. The most common is Washington. So they want you to identify with Homer Simpson. They don't want you out of Springfield. And you wonder why your life isn't changing because you are comfortable with the familiar. You're not willing to just turn off your TV or just get rid of your TV completely. Or you're just watching Cheers reruns, right? Because you want to have a laugh with Norm. Or you want to be disrespected. There's a part of you in your subconscious mind. You're like, you know what? My life is just like Al's. I go to some type of work I don't really enjoy going to. I'll come back home. My wife nags at me the whole time. My kids don't really respect me. And I have these ridiculous conversations with my neighbors. And it's just day in and day out. Or you're like Peter, or you're like Cartman. Yeah, I love Cartman because Cartman is funny, right? And your life is not changing. And just be okay with that too. Be okay with it. Just be like, if my life is like this for the rest of my life, not changing, just be okay with it. But don't be complaining when you see people, you know, they're taking their life by the horns, they're making those changes, they're making those sacrifices. Maybe they're not doing everything, but they're taking action, right? As they're taking action, they're refining it every single time. This program took me years to figure out. Took me years. I tried so many different formulas, and after getting it down to the right proportions, and also drinking it in a very specific way, because you probably find protocols online that may be similar to this one, but they're not getting the type of results. I've taught this in English. I've taught this in Chinese. I translated this program into Arabic. People from Singapore, Malaysia, I don't care. They'll get, I would say 90 to 95% of them will get tremendous success if they can follow directions. You got to find people who can follow. If you can't follow directions, don't get my program. Some people, they just don't want to follow directions. They just, I want to do it my way. I'm not going to get the measuring cups. I'm going to measure with my eyeballs. All right, you can do that, but you're not going to get the results. So what's going on? We got people coming on here. What are your thoughts? What can I help you with? Don't be shy. I think this is the most people ever been on. What's happening? So I just wanted to holler. Let me know what questions you have. This is an opportunity for you guys to ask me questions in the live chat. In the live chat, you guys can just pop in questions or concerns you may have, or things you want me to clear up. I'd be happy to help you clear them up. You might see a lot of hundreds or a lot of hearts. That's me, actually. I'm trying to get more people to jump on this call. So, what questions do you guys have? Hmm? So what's going on? Anybody got questions for me? Yeah, this recorded so you guys can go over later on. Yet if you're on here, subscribe so you guys can see future live broadcasts if you want to jump on. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for jumping on. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.